welcome to another edition of Convict Inc. I'm your host, Robert Rosso. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. I need all the support I can get. Before I go any further, I just want to say that I hope everybody had a good Christmas. It was my first one out since, 24 years. 1996 was the last Christmas I had on the street, and prior to that was 92. Anyway, it was amazing for me. I hope everybody had a good Christmas. So what I'm going to share to you today, I originally wrote a piece about this and I titled it, Captain Clay Saves the Day. So I've had people ask me before when I've referred to gang hits or people going on a hit. A gang hit or an assault doesn't necessarily mean murder. In fact, if you're in a gang and you're ordered to go on a hit, in prison especially, it's very rare that it results in murder or that the intent was to commit murder. I'm not saying that that doesn't happen. I'm not saying that people aren't ordered to go do hits to commit murder. I'm saying in normal gang speak, when you're going on a mission, if it's part of a gang activity and they say you're going on a hit, that means you're going to assault somebody. As anybody who's been watching this knows, I was in a prison gang, pretty large prison gang for that time period. Back in 2002, me and all of my brothers, the Dirty White Boys, were expelled from Leavenworth. I guess that's a good way to put it. Anyway, we were all transferred out of Leavenworth. Myself, Scott Tolley, Jeremy Itis, No-Nose Rick, and Billy, that's what I'll say for now, we're all sent to the United States Penitentiary in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. Among our group that was originally transferred first, because we were transferred in threes, a busload of us went on one trip. A couple weeks later, some more of us went, and we were spread out across the United States. So 3 different buses. So I was part of the first bus, as was one of my really close bros, and that's Dusty. I've talked about Dusty on here before. I will be talking about him a lot more in the future, and that's because we were so close. So we all were transported out of Leavenworth on the same day. However, the 5 I mentioned were going to Lewisburg. Dusty, however, was sent to Allenwood. Both prisons are in Pennsylvania, and we did not understand why Dusty was transferred. Why could he not go to Allenwood? Well, shortly after we arrived at Lewisburg, and this is February of 2003, we find out that an inmate by the name of Jimmy Couch from Oklahoma was in Lewisburg. He was just in the hole when we arrived, and we had no idea that he was there. Now, who is Jimmy Couch? Jimmy Couch was a guy in his early 50s at the time, about 5'7", 150 pounds. Wasn't a very big guy at all. Wasn't muscular, didn't work out. He was a dope fiend, as were a lot of us. So I'm not knocking him for being a junkie. I'm just saying, he wasn't in the best physical condition. However, what Jimmy Couch had done in the past is run his mouth. A lot of guys in the SHU or the special housing units get behind the door and they just start cussing everybody out. They yell in the tier and they become cell warriors is what we call them. You get on the door and you cuss everybody, your mother this, you can say whatever you want when you're locked behind a door, nice and safe. Well, Jimmy Couch made a mistake of spitting on my bro Dusty. At the time, Dusty wasn't a member of the Dirty White Boys, but he wasn't a close associate, nor was I. Anyway, as Dusty was doing his rounds in the SHU, and that is, he was an orderly for the white guys, Jimmy Couch wanted him to pass some wine, and Dusty wouldn't do it. Actually, the issue was over wine, and was passing back and forth, and Jimmy Couch was drunk and said the wine was bunk, and there was this whole ordeal. So it wasn't just passing of the wine, there was a big ordeal about the wine in general. They had words. Now, when you're talking on the door, so imagine somebody standing out in the hallway, okay? So most of you guys have seen footage of special housing units. So there's a big steel door. In between the doors on the side, there's cracks like that thick. So you can slide stuff through these cracks, and you can also talk through them, whisper through them. So it's, the cracks are pretty big. Anyway, Dusty and Jimmy are talking in the door, and Jimmy went ahead and just went and spit right in Dusty's face. Well, Jimmy Couch is locked behind a door. He had the opportunity the next day to go to rec. When you're in a specialty housing unit, you get an hour a day of recreation, and you're allowed to go out. And at that time in Leavenworth, we can pick and choose who we went to rec with. All we had to do is tell the rec officer, hey, I want to go to rec with so-and-so and so-and-so. So it could have been arranged for Jimmy Couch to go ahead and go on the rec with Dusty. And that's what Dusty asked to do. He sent Jimmy a kite the next day, said, hey, let's go to rec and resolve this. Jimmy wouldn't do it. As a matter of fact, he PC'd up, meaning he didn't come out. Now, he didn't go into protective custody now, but he did not come out to rec again as long as he was in the shoe. Enter 2003. So we get to Leavenworth, and we find out the reason that Dusty could not go to Lewisburg with the rest of us was because of Jimmy Couch. They had a separation. Jimmy Couch had a separation against Dusty. So in order for us to get Dusty with us, and we all wanted him there, we had to remove the problem. And the problem was Jimmy Couch. So as I said, or no, I didn't say yet. Yeah, I did. When we arrived, myself and my other brothers arrived at Lewisburg. We didn't know Jimmy was there. He was in the hole. Then we find out in February he got out. He was under an investigation for introduction of narcotics at the time. Jimmy Couch knows that we're there and went ahead and came out on the compound, meaning he didn't request protective custody. He didn't hide. He came out, found the guy who was leading us at the time, our shot caller, which was Billy, and came up and said, hey, I'm here. This is what happened. Dusty wasn't a dirty white boy at the time, but I just wanted you to know if there's going to be any problems, let me know now. Of course, Billy said no. And when I say of course, meaning he just got hit with this. Billy had to come talk to us. We had to resolve the issue. Well, let me say this. So me and Dusty, let's put the gang stuff aside. I was close enough where if I would have seen Jimmy Couch or knew he was there, regardless of the gang issues, he would have been hit. So we had a meeting, and the issue became, what are we going to do about Jimmy Couch? And I said, I'll go. I'll do it. I put my hand up. Matter of fact, I was the lowest one on the totem pole. So when we went on missions or had to go take care of business, we usually went 2-on-1. That's two of us went and attacked one. Why? So the other one wouldn't get hurt. A lot of times somebody would stand back too and just let one person go handle it, one person go do the assault. And if they started having any problems, the other one would jump in. In this case, I saw Jimmy Couch. I knew who he was. He wasn't a big guy. I was in my early 30s at the time, and I was in pretty good condition. I didn't lift weights, but I did a lot of push-ups and burpees at that time, and I was clean for a while. So I was in pretty good shape. And like I said, Jimmy was in his 50s, and he was not. So this wasn't something I was, worried about losing or getting beat up. So this was just, let's go eliminate the problem. The next day after we had the meeting, I had packed all my stuff, and I told my cellie that there could be a problem, that I might not be back to the cell. So got all my stuff packed up, told them, what to do with it. If I got locked up, I didn't tell them what was going on. I wasn't allowed to because of gang stuff, but I wouldn't tip my hand anyway. I should mention that the night before, after that meeting, original meeting, I went and cruised the hallway. So they have 10-minute moves on the hour. So 5 minutes to 7, let's say, the move will start and it will end 5 minutes after. I'm pretty sure that's how Lewisburg worked. Every prison is different. That's why I'm not exact, but I believe Lewisburg was 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after. That is, the move starts 5 minutes before and ends 5 minutes after the top of the hour. Well, I cruised the hallways looking for him because I didn't want to I just wanted to take care of it. I didn't really care about creeping or getting away with it. I was just going to smash him, get it done. The objective was not to get away. The objective was to get rid of Jimmy Couch. That was my mission. That was my intent. Well, he didn't come out that night. He didn't come out that night at all. So the next morning I wake up bright and early. I go to chow, and there was Jimmy eating pancakes. So typically, you don't like to do an assault in the chow hall. Number one, some people consider that check-in move. What do I mean by a check-in move? They consider it, that means you want to get caught and you want to get removed from the compound and you want to get put in segregation. A lot of guys do that who owe bills, who are scared, who just want to get out of general population but don't want to go to staff and say, I want to go into protective custody. It's like they do the honorable check-in. So they'll pick a victim and they'll go assault them because they just want to get off the compound. That's it. And most of the time that happens because of drug debts. You're $10,000 in debt, you can't pay your money. So what do? You go assault somebody and then you get transferred. That way it doesn't look like you went into protective custody. You pull a move, so it's the honorable check-in move is what I call it. Anyway, so it's not ideal to hit somebody in the chow hall. I personally have done it in the BOP twice. The first time it was a total different issue. It had to be done at that specific time, and that's all I'll say about that. This case, what happened was Jimmy Couch stayed back. So after the line served, after everybody served, they'll usually break out all the extra pancakes, put it on the line, everybody can come eat as much as they want. Well, Jimmy was staying back to eat because he was hungry. Guy had been in a shoe for a while, so he was trying to, pig out and get whatever he can get. So I decided to hang back and see where this went. It was me, No-Nose, and I think James White, which wasn't a brother, but he might as well have been. White's a really good guy. So anyway, Jimmy Couch ends up being the last inmate in the chow hall, along with me, No-Nose, and White. And I paused on White because I'm not sure if it was White or Jeremy. Nevertheless, it was somebody with No-Nose. So I went ahead and I hung back and I waited, and Jimmy kind of eased his way towards the dish room. So when you're done with your food, you got a tray and a plate, you go drop it off at the dish room counter. When you drop it off, you take off. Well, as I was walking behind him, I scanned the chow hall and I realized there was no staff. I didn't see any staff. So we were going to the dish room, which was in the front, kind of by the exit. Well, there was a perfect opportunity to hit him right here and nobody would be able to see in the in the corridor. So staff is standing outside there for sure, but they wouldn't be able to see him when I did the hit. So I might be able to get away with it. Anyway, so I'm pumped up. Like I said, I knew I can whoop this guy. That wasn't the issue. The issue was, you just get charged. You just get wound up when you're going to go assault somebody. So Jimmy puts his tray down, and as soon as he put it down, I thought he was going to turn because he heard me, but he didn't. And I hit him right in the back of the head. I hit him right on the neck, dropped him. Bam! When I hit him, he went down, and it was real awkward because I was going to go down and try to hit him too. Well, he started kicking his legs. He started kicking his legs and flailing, and then I started just kicking him, and I just kept kicking him, and he was spinning around. I was kicking him in circles, and he kept spinning. He was kicking. It was real awkward for me. And I remember I grabbed his ankle, and I was just going to get in a good position where I could kick him in the face, then come down and drill him. And out of nowhere, I just felt, so I'm standing up, I just felt, boom! So imagine Superman flying into you, boom! And the next thing I remember, I'm on the floor, on my back, and I'm looking up at a female captain by the name of Captain Clay. And I'm not just looking up at her. What I'm looking up is two breasts smashed against my face. So I realized, there's like just boobs smashing my face, and I heard say, "Are you good? You good?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're damn right, I'm good." I didn't say that, but I said, "Yeah, I'm good." So somehow, somewhere, I don't know where Captain Clay was, but this broad, I don't mean to be offensive, this kind lady came out of nowhere and just laid me out on the ground. I mean, people called her Captain Save a Ho, meaning Jim was a hoe. Anyway, but she flew into me, and it was my first fill of boobs. And it was 2003. I got locked up in 97. So, I didn't really mind, but I was sprawled out on on the floor. And boy, I got a bunch of shit for that, because honestly, she really laid me out. And that tackle she did, it was like a linebacker hitting a quarterback. She was just, man, I mean, she floored me. But yeah, it was all boobs in the face. And that was kind of like, and she knew it. She knew it. She even said something about, did you get your fill? Or I forgot what it was, but it was a pretty funny ordeal. Anyway, Captain Clay saves the day. I probably won't title this that. I'll figure out a title when I get ready to post it. But that's what happened in February 2003 when I hit Jimmy Couch. By the way, I must say that Jimmy did fight back as best he can. So he wasn't a punk or a pussy or nothing like that. So I'm not ever going to try to. I don't know where he is in life today, but I'll give him that. And the mission was a success, because shortly thereafter Jimmy was transferred and Dusty found his way to Lewisburg. It was all coordinated, but that's a whole different story. All right, hope you enjoyed. Till tomorrow.